Hey guys, welcome back to another podcast episode. Today I'm super excited for this topic, and I don't really have like all of the things that I want to say because this is this topic that we're going to be talking about today is very gradual and very this is something that you can add on to as life goes on. And the topic, hold on, let me get my notes because I have notes for this podcast episode today. So this is the topic that we're going to be talking about today is the importance of self-discovery. And also, guys, I don't know if you guys can notice or what, but my tripod is being so silly and I can't get it to be straight. It's like my phone is slanted, so I don't know if you guys can notice that or not, but I notice it and it's like annoying me and I don't know how to fix it. So if you guys don't care, then just keep watching and forget I said anything. um cuz yeah, I'm just like so over it. Like this, I don't know how to fix it. I tried to. Okay, I tried. I don't know what to do. But yeah, and for me, and I'm just going to be talking about kind of in this episode, I'm just going to be talking about my own experiences, and then also because that's the only thing I can do when I'm talking. Hold on, let me bring you guys over here because I feel like I'm talking over here but you guys are over here. So let me just bring the camera over here. But that's the only thing I can do because that's from my experience, that's how I can give you guys advice off of my own experience because I don't know anybody else's except for my own. So yeah, I just want to talk about this because it has been something that is always on my mind, but recently it has been very much on my mind um, for my self discovery because it was one of my goals. It's like my goal every year. I make it my goal every year is to like build my self discovery because this is something that you learn something about yourself every single day, no matter how big or small. It's you learn things about yourself that you didn't know before, and I think it's a really cool and very interesting thing to talk about. And I watch videos like similar to this, but I've never really seen anybody talk about um this straight on about self-discovery, and I've kind of talked about it in little parts here and there in my videos before, but this is I'm actually talking about it and fully, and I'm very excited to talk about this. So I'm just gonna stop saying that I'm excited to talk about it and get straight into it. So the I put them in steps, but they don't have to be steps. They can just be um like guiding, they can be a guiding number. So yes, so the first step is realizing that you are putting others thoughts and opinions above your own thoughts and opinions. And this is something I myself realize that I have been doing for a very long time, and I still catch myself doing to this day. And this is something that I am actively trying to break away from because I am someone who is I deeply care about the people that I care about, so much to the fact that I do things because they want me to, because like I just feel like that's the only way that I can show that I care, is by like by actively like doing the things that they're like doing the things that they thought or have an opinion on, and I change myself to fit their molds that they've made for me. And I don't want to live that way anymore, because I feel like I'm really trying to be myself, but how am I supposed to be myself if I'm continuously putting myself in a mold for other people? And and it doesn't matter if someone is like, if it's a family member or your best friend, or like people that you work with, like for jobs that you have to do, you mold yourself, and then especially if it's, and I know like sometimes you just have to work a job that you're just like not passionate about, and I literally like just yesterday I saw someone, like the video was them like going, locking their door at their home, and like about them starting a job, and like, and then you can see them slowly losing their sparkle, slowly losing the thing that, just makes them them, and you can slowly see it, like they're just like cruising through life without any purpose or joy. And that is something that I have been through. Um, so when you find that you're doing that, and you're like, what? And you're like, it's like, I don't know what it is, but like it's like you're out of your body, and it's just like you're seeing the things that you're doing, and it's just like, what am I doing? Like I have no actual clue what I'm doing with my life. And it's like, I need to change something, because if I keep living this way, I'm going to get into a downward spiral, and I'm never gonna be able to get out of it. So there's like things that we do, and we're constantly self-sabotaging. I talked about this in my other video. We like, if you're like a perfectionist, like we're constantly self-sabotaging, and hold on, I lost my thought. I don't know, but I don't know what I was about to say. But yeah, like if you get what I'm trying to say, like you just need to be able, once, because like this is what you need to do to start your self-discovery, is realizing that you're doing the things that you don't want to happen to you. So realizing, and there's nothing wrong with you. Don't think that there's nothing wrong with you, but there is something that you're doing that is making you think that way. So I think, and it's not like, oh, like you can like easily change it, because you're just, it's like you're just curing the symptoms and not the core problem. And you just need to, you really need to dig down deep, and like really look at yourself, and create a list of like everything and that you think you want to change, or you want to be able to better. And just like do that, because I feel like that is really what's gonna, you need to really dig down deep inside your core and figure out what you want in your life. And then I also put for this, I said, on this is, I'm reading my notes by the way. I said, you are doubting your own goals and dreams because of what other people think you should be doing, and that is holding you back. And I like, for everything, like I can like bring back into my, I can bring back into my own self, and I can say that that is like, I'm literally living this right now. Like I am trying to figure out what my next steps are. You know, I need a job. I I want to like, I need a new job. I want to go to college for, you know, my, you know, long-term goals and my long-term career. Like it's my literal dream. And for, you know, I want to achieve my dreams and do the things that I want to do, but I feel like other people's thoughts and opinions and what other people think I should be doing is holding me back from my actual goals and dreams. Because I actually, this is something that I've like have been thinking about for a while, and I still don't know why people do that. Like why do people put their own, like if like, oh, if I haven't done this yet, or I have never done this, or it's not realistic to them, it's not realistic for you. And I don't understand why people think that way, and why people like put that on you, because their thoughts and opinions, and their things that they think you should be doing has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you. So that is something that you should be like, you shouldn't care what anybody says about, because like ultimately it's your life and you should be living it. And if you're not, you're gonna be miserable. You're gonna be miserable, and you're gonna be constantly being like, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that, I shouldn't have listened to the people who were telling me this and that. Like you're gonna be constantly in a what if, like what if I should have, I could have done this, but I chose to do this because someone else told me that this is what I should do and I followed it. Follow your own mind. Follow your own mind. Okay? That's like one of like the number one things that you should be doing. And you know, follow your heart, follow your mind. Your own mind, not someone else's mind or heart. And there are like some situations where like, you know, your parents try to live their dreams through you. Like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what to say about that because I've never lived that. So I don't really know what to say about that, but I don't know what to say, but I feel like there has to be some point where you're stuck in resentment towards your parents or whoever your guardian is who is living their dreams through you. Like there has to be a point where the resentment gets so burning high that you're just like, you're checked out. And there has to be a point where you need to just start living for yourself and realizing that that dream is not your dream. It's never been your dream. So realizing that and trying And like also you might be thinking like, oh, how do I start over? You need to, I'm gonna get into my next point, but this is my step 2: start living for yourself. If you want to start a new beginning, you need to take baby steps. Do not take big leaps because you don't know if you're going to step into a puddle. You need to take baby steps with when you're starting over, when you're starting a new leaf. You need to figure out, make a list. Like this is what I put. You need to make a list or a thought bubble. Hold on. You need to make a list or a thought bubble of what you want your life to look like in the next 5 years. If that is too long or too big for you, that's okay. Just do 2 years and start planning. I feel like this is something that we kind of like think is such a daunting task because it's like, well, I don't know what I want. and trust me, I have been there. I like ever since like I got out of high school, like I had no idea what I wanted my life to be, what I wanted it to look like. And even in my last 2 years of high school, like I was like, I want this, and I don't know why. And I was always like, oh, like I should have, but I didn't. So it's like you have to live in your own present. You have to live in your own present. Stop thinking about the past because it's the past. And I know that's like everybody says that, like you need to be in your own present and stop thinking about the past. But my problem was I kept like thinking about the past and worrying about the future. Be in your now. Be in your now. Like for real. And but if you really like want to start planning out what you want to do in your life, in your future, don't start big. Start small. Start 2 years. Like what's your next 2 years gonna look like? It could be small things, like the things that you want to do. Like it doesn't even have to be about career or whatever. It can be like small things, like, oh, like I really want to go on a camping trip in wherever. Or it could be like, oh, I want to start a book club, or oh, I want to um I want to go on a date, like. Or it can be, oh, I really want to get a little bit more closer with my coworkers or whatever. Or it could be something like very small, like, oh, I want to renovate my bathroom, like, and make it cute or whatever. Like it could be like so, like it could be so small. You don't have to like dream big, like, oh, I want to go on like this, like I want to go on like a Euro summer trip, like go wherever in like Europe for the summer. Like literally that's what Euro summer means. But I'm just saying, like, you don't have to dream big, like, if you don't want to. But you should, like, just like I said, start with baby steps. Go small and then you can go big, because I feel like that is what like people are doing. I feel like that's a lot of what people are doing. And like a lot of people, especially in like the like social media world, like they're always like telling people to do everything, and like you have to take these big large steps that you may not be prepared for. And I feel like, you know, especially if you're someone who's like a warrior, like you are, those giant leaps can very much worry you, and you're gonna be nervous and scared to take those big leaps because you're not prepared. So I feel like you need to just like breathe and just like take and just write down in your journal or whatever you have, or a piece of paper or a post, like one of those post-it things, like write down your thing, write down your goals for the next 2 years. If you want to do 5 years, that's fine. But I think, yeah. And then my last point on step 2 is just do it. You need, like, if you really, really need a fresh start, or you really, really want to have a fresh start, then just do it. There's no one stopping you from having a fresh start. The only person who is stopping you is yourself. You are the only one who is stopping yourself from doing the things that you want to do. No matter how you think about it, like, oh, like there may be like some people like, oh, like this is like whatever, like I don't know if you could do it, or I don't know if this is right for you. You are the one who is making those thoughts into reality. You are the only one who's doing that. You have the power to start your own new life. You can start a new life if you need to. So just do it. Do it, okay? Just do it, okay? That's what I had to say about that. And then step 3, hold on, I can't, like, okay, I have to like pick up my notebook because I can't like read from down there. So step 3 is making boundaries and sticking to them. If someone breaks your boundary bubble, do not excuse them from it, because it only makes them do it again and think it's okay. So let me explain that, okay? It is okay to make boundaries with people. It is okay to make boundaries with your own family. I feel like they're, especially if like they like, if they think like, oh, you're the child and I'm the parent, like whatever. I feel like there is a point in time where you have to make boundaries at that point, because if you don't, and if you don't stick to those boundaries, they're gonna keep breaking those boundaries, and they won't they're not respecting your bubble. They're not respecting your bubble, they're not respecting their boundaries, and they certainly are not respecting you. So what you need to do is make boundaries, tell them to them straight, and just keep on doing that. And yeah. And then my other point, I'm gonna get back to it. I just wanted to mention my other point. It's okay to say no, and don't force yourself. Don't force yourself, okay? And trust your own gut. I think that I'm gonna get to it, but there's plenty of times where I listened, but I didn't, act on that trust. So yeah, but I'm gonna get to it, okay? So, what I mean by, like, I feel like I really don't have to explain, but I'm gonna explain because I feel like it is very self-explanatory, and I feel like if someone is breaking your boundaries over and over again, they don't respect you. And if you keep excusing it, especially even if it's not boundaries, if they're not respecting you or your peace or your personal, like, if you let somebody into your house and they don't respect your rules or the things that they tell you, like take your shoes off when you enter the house, do not put your dirty clothes on someone's bed that they sleep on. Like, don't wear, if you're going to sit on someone's bed, don't put your dirty butt or your dirty jeans on someone's clean bed. Don't come into someone's house. Like, if you're, like, I'm saying, like, if you're, like, staying over at someone's house and you're sleeping over, don't raid someone's fridge and eat all their food and it clearly wasn't for you, and you eat the food anyway, and you don't even ask if it's okay to eat that food. Don't expect me to be all nice and jolly, okay? I feel like there are rules and expectations that you have at your own house, and there are different ones when you go to someone else's. So, yeah, like, when, I don't know if this is just me or like if it's like, or if it's like some, like, an introvert thing or whatever, but I don't just sit on someone's, I don't just go and, like, go in someone's house and walk in my shoes that I've been stepping in dirt or just stepping on the dirty ground. You don't know what was on the ground. You don't just go on someone's carpet and start, like, rubbing their dirty shoes on someone's carpet, and, like, sitting on someone's couch and just, like, laying on it. Like, I don't do that. And, like, also, I feel like that's, like, something that I unconsciously do out of respect for someone's home. And that's just something that is, like, basic courtesy. And, like, my parents raised me right. I don't just go in someone's house and act like it's my own. So, yeah. I don't know, but I think that's, like, your person, this body is your home. So if someone is disrespecting your rules and your like your rules and your expectations, then you shouldn't be, like, happy and jolly when someone enters your home and, like, being so rude, like, and, like, and doing things that, like, this is another thing I want to say, is that, like, especially the excusing part is just, like, one thing. But if someone, and I feel like this one goes hand in hand, if someone is, like, knows your boundaries and knows that it has been a problem with you in the past and is, like, and they've had issues with that, and they know, like, the struggles and the whatever that you've gone through with it, and they do it knowingly, and they do it knowingly, cut that person out of your life. I don't, like, I'm, like, I don't care if that seems mean or whatever. I don't care if I'm mean for doing that. If someone doesn't respect me or my boundaries or whatever, you're done. You're done. Like, I'm cutting that person out. You're not going to be rude and disrespect me and not respect me. Like, no. No. Mm. Or, like, that's also, like, I'm like, I don't care if I seem mean or whatever. I'm not taking disrespect. Like, I'm not. Like, and I was just having this discussion the other day, because about something else, and they were like, if someone is coming to you for help and that other person is not getting anything out of anything in return, and they're just doing it because they care about you and they and they want to help you, and you're not, that's like a transactional relationship, no matter if it's your friends, your romantic partner, or your family. That's a transactional relationship. And it's like, you know, if you're desperate every single time, you're not actually desperate. You're just like, you're wanting more, and they're not asking you for anything in return, but you keep asking them for things, and you know they're gonna give it to you. Like, that's a transactional relationship, and I feel like that's not. And I was telling them, you need to cut them out, because if they keep doing that to you, they're not respecting you. I don't care if they are an important person or they're a family member. Like, you can't keep doing that. You can't keep wanting. It doesn't matter if you want a relationship with them or keep a relationship with them or not. You can't keep letting them do that to you. Like, there's like take, no give back. No. Like, no. You need to cut that off. It doesn't matter who they are. I don't care. You need to cut that off. Like, I get like help every once in a while, but like every single time you're struggling, you ask for help, you ask for something, and they give you that help, and they're not asking for anything in return, and you keep asking. And it's like, you are a grown adult. Why do you keep coming back for more? Like, you are a grown adult. Learn how to do something without help. I don't want to get heated, but I feel like for me, and this has been like me my whole entire life, I don't ask for help at all. And when I do ask for help, it's like beyond, like, it's actually beyond like what I can, you know, it gets to the point where like it's beyond myself. Like, I can't do anything else for that. So like, that's when I finally ask for help. Is like when I can't do anything more like for myself. And that was like with school or like personal matter or mental health or whatever. Like, I would always wait until over the last minute to for help with something, and like sometimes it bit me in the butt for sure. it bit me in the butt. But I think that that's how, well, it shouldn't be like that, but that's how it should be. You shouldn't be asking for help every single time. Figure it out yourself before you ask for someone's help. But I know that has nothing to do with that. But I just went on a rant because I was just like, I just like, because it's like something that, like, it has something to do with self-discovery, because I feel like they're, like, it's like the cry wolf type thing. If you keep crying wolf and there's just a mouse, people are not gonna believe you. People are not gonna help you, because they're gonna be like, why do you keep asking for help if it's not even anything worth for help? You can do that yourself. And like, also there was like also times like where I was my past job, and I'm like, and I'm working with someone who has been there for long over like 4 or 5 months, and you still don't know how to do things. You still don't know where things are. Why are you asking? Look for it yourself. Do it yourself before you ask for help. Like, you're not even looking, you're just asking. You're asking for help without even looking for it. And that is like, that irks me. That irks me. That gets me in a rant every single time. Like, ugh. And like, people might not agree with that rant or whatever, but it really does get on my nerves when people ask for help and they don't need it, and they don't actually need help. But yeah, and trust in your own gut. Guys, there has been so many times where I'm hearing it, but I'm not listening to my own intuition, and I'm not acting upon that trust in that belief, and it ends up like, oh, like like, you know, like, I'm just like, oh, like, oh, I have to do this, like, go and do it. And then it's like, oh, I should have done it when I was like, I could have done it. Like, or like, it could be like for something minuscule, like there was like a signed album that I really, really wanted, or like something, and then I waited, and I was like, oh, I could get it now, but I want to wait until I get paid. And I waited and I waited. Past the point. You need to trust your gut no matter what. Like, you know, women out there, trust your gut, because it's always right. It's always right. It's always right. Like, you gotta trust in your intuition, trust in your gut. If something feels wrong, don't go and do it. That's like in a like if you're in a horror movie and people are like telling you not to go through the door, and you go through the door anyway. Like, girl, they just said don't go through the door. Don't go to the basement. And you do it anyway. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you need to, if your gut is telling you don't do that, or it's telling you, oh, something's not right, you better listen, because you're hearing it, but you're not listening. You're not listening. So yeah, trust in your gut, and you gotta You just got to do that, because I feel like that's like super, super important when you're going through your self-discovery journey, is you need to be able to do that. Because I feel like if you're not trusting your own intuition and your own gut, you're not gonna move forward. Okay. And okay, we're gonna go through step 4. Okay. Self-discovery is like learning a language. For some people, it's breezy, but for some, it's a really, really long process, and you have to take an approach. You have to take an approach that works for you. Excuse me. And you have to keep going. Don't stop when things get hard. Just pivot some things around. Okay, so I'm gonna explain that one, because I feel like this is like also like, I feel like when I came up with this like little analogy, I was like, this is perfect, because I feel like it's like the perfect way to explain self-discovery. It is really like learning language, because for me, learning languages is like, it's a very, very slow process, and it's probably going to take me years to actually get fluent in a language. But you know, for some people, it's like they can learn a language in a month. They can learn a language in a month. And I am over here like, I've been trying to learn French for years, and I'm still not fluent. So it doesn't matter like how much it doesn't matter how much time it takes you. All that matters is that you're putting in the effort. If you're putting in the effort to learn a language and learn yourself, then you are going to be able to get fluent in yourself. You're gonna, hold on, let me bring this down a little bit. You're gonna be able to, I'm wearing my, you're gonna be able to get fluent in yourself if you keep putting in the effort, and you're putting in your drive, your determination. Oh my gosh. Please don't stutter now. Please. Your determination. Like, if you're not putting those in, you're never gonna learn a language. And that's straight. And you have to keep practicing. Yeah. You have to keep practicing. If you're not practicing, if you're not immersing yourself, then you're going to lose it. You're going to lose all your progress. Like, that's like, honestly, that's with anything with you learn. Anything with you learn. Anything with learning. Yeah. That's with anything with learning. If you're learning a language, like I said, if you're learning an instrument, if you're learning like school stuff, like if you're not practicing, or if you're not keep on, keeping up, if you're not keeping the upkeep, you're gonna lose all the progress that you made. And I don't remember who said this. I don't remember where I heard this from. But it was like, if you, let's say in a week, okay, you have your class from Monday and Tuesday, right? And then on Wednesday, you're like, you have that class off, you go have fun, you go party, and you go whatever, and then the next day, you have a different class. And I'm putting this in my own words. And you have a different class, and then that's Thursday right there. And then on Friday, you have a test for that first class. You're not going to remember a thing on your test because you haven't been upkeeping with that class because you've been partying, you've been seeing your friends, and then the next day you had another class that had nothing to do with that, and you didn't even worry about that other class, and you didn't and then in this analogy, you forgot that you had a test on Friday. So yeah, like you're over here, if you're not keeping up with the upkeep, you're not going to make any progress. You have to keep on keeping on. Okay? You have to keep up with the upkeep. You have to do it because I feel like that's like very important. And yeah, I think I don't really, and that's like that analogy, I put it in my own words. I didn't want to copy the other one, so I made it into my own words. But that was the gist of it anyway. So yeah, like if you're not keeping up with that class, you're never gonna remember the stuff that you need to remember for your test on Friday. So yeah, anyway. So I'm going to do, this is the last step, guys. And there probably is more steps because there is an infinity amount of things that you should do. And like in the beginning of the video, like I said, self-discovery is not something that you can achieve in a matter of steps. It is something that you continuously do in life. And it's a forever occurrence because you're constantly learning things about yourself and, you know, and yeah, and that's, the way it should be. But step 5, this is the last step I have for you guys. And I feel like this is, I don't know, but I feel like this is like an important last step in my book anyway. Believe in yourself, in the work that you are putting in, and celebrate life to the fullest, and celebrate your progress. This is This is important because you have to move forward. Because, if you keep on doubting yourself and your abilities, so what I mean by that is I feel like this is like one of the most important things, I would say, because I feel like this is something that to your core you have to do because it's important. Because you're never gonna move forward if you keep on doubting your abilities and doubting yourself. and you have to believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, you can never move forward with this journey if you don't believe in yourself. And that's a fact. I'm sorry, but that's a fact for sure. And then this is something that I say because I feel like this is something that we forget about when we are in our own journeys, is we forget to celebrate our own lives and celebrate our progress, because I feel like you're like, oh, like this thing happened, let's move on. But like, hold on for a second, celebrate that progress that you made. Celebrate you're finally having only positive thoughts, that you're being positive to yourself. You're not saying negative things about yourself anymore. Celebrate that. Celebrate the fact that you finally put yourself first. Celebrate the fact that you can finally be your own person without people telling you who you should be. Celebrate that. Come on, celebrate your life. It's your life. You need to celebrate it. And not only on your birthday. Come on. Celebrate your life. Have a cake. Invite your friends. Invite your family members. You need to be able to celebrate that, because I feel like we live in a world that, even if you achieve something and it's really big for you, other people won't care, because it's just oh, it's just another day. It's just another thing that's happening in the world. And that's also a fact. But yeah, and I feel like I also was watching this video on success. Hold on, I watched it on my iPad. Let me pull it up, because I don't remember. Hold on, I don't remember what it was called, so I want to pull it up to tell you guys, so you guys can watch it too, because it was a really cool video. Hold on, let me pull it up. Okay, here we go. So the video was called How to Free Yourself of Failure and Find Success. And the YouTube channel that it was on is called Ease. And yeah, it was a really, really cool video. I truly recommend. Hold on, let me pull it up so you guys can actually see. Hold on.
Well, the time mark was
so yeah, can you guys see that? Hold on. I don't know if you guys can see because of the glare, but I don't know if you guys can see. Hold on. I'm trying to put it closer so you guys can see, but that's the video that I watched, and I truly recommend watching that video because it was really interesting. But they were talking about success and how success is not something that is seen as success, because whether you have because I can't remember. I should have wrote it down. But because it was really interesting. But just watch the video. Just watch it, because it's really cool, interesting video. And if you guys wanna watch videos like that, I truly recommend watching this video, because it was really interesting, and this guy has really cool background. who the guy who was having a conversation with Nye and was her name Justice or something like that? I can't remember what her name was. I think it was like Justine or something like that. I don't remember. But they were having a really cool conversation. But I'm gonna say that a lot of people see success in different ways, and I think that is interesting and really cool. But it feels a little bit special because I feel like people see success and then someone else can see it as a failure. Like I was watching this clip of it was like for Apple Music, and Halsey was doing an interview, and Halsey was saying that her I don't know if she was talking about that, but that's the picture that popped up, was her album, The Great Impersonator. It did super well. It sold 100,000, and that was a major success because, like, she's done so much, but her label saw it as a failure because they didn't it didn't have it in their eyes. It didn't have a great turnout, but it did. So people can see success and like be like, oh my gosh, like this happened and like this was great. But someone else can look at it and be like, what, that was a failure. Like, did you just see this? Like, this didn't turn out the way that we hoped. But that doesn't mean that it's a failure. If something doesn't turn out the way that it should have, I think that is a way you should see that and say, I can learn that for next time and I'm gonna make it better than I will make it better than you could ever think that it could. And I think that we see mistakes as failures, but for me, and they were saying this too, like, I see my mistakes and my failures as learning stones. I learn from my mistakes and I don't do them again, or I try not to do them again. And I feel like, other people, like, are just like, oh, I'm so sad. Like, oh, I'm like I failed, like, and I can never do it again. Who said you can never do it again? Just try again. You don't have to stop doing the things that you fail at just because you failed. They're not failures, because yes, you did fail, but you can try it again and you can make it better. You can make it better. Like, and yeah, like I think that, a lot of people think, oh, like I hear these sayings all the time. Oh, I failed at my test. Oh, I failed you as a parent. Well, in some cases that can be true, but um but oh, like um I I failed at this event, or oh, I failed at this whatever the case may be. You didn't fail. You have the chance and the choice. There's always a choice. You have a choice to make it better. You have a choice to make yourself better. So I feel like always, like, when you're on, this is like, come to the conclusion when you have your self-discovery journey and you're at the start of it, the first thing that you need to do, like I said, you need to realize things. Go deep inside your core and write it down. Write a list, make a thought bubble, and on everything that you think you can make better, or you're just like, oh, like, I want to change this or fix this, or I want to make this better. Write it down. Write it down. Make boundaries. Do not excuse people for breaking those boundaries. Say no. Trust your gut. And remember that self-discovery is like learning a new language. You need to keep at it, because if you're not putting effort, there's no way that you can move forward. Last thing, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Celebrate your progress. Celebrate your life. And make sure that in your self-discovery journey, you are the person who's making these choices, not anybody else. Because it's your self-discovery. No one should be helping you with your self-discovery. You need to be the one who's digging deep. You need to one that's be making the progress. You need to be the one making these boundaries, not someone else, not your therapist, not your mother, you. Okay? This is it for this podcast episode. I hoped that these things really dug deep into yourself, and make sure that you like this video, and make sure that you subscribe to my channel, and make sure to hit the bell to be notified when I post another video or podcast. And I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful fall, because fall just started. What day is it? It's the 23rd. It is the second day of fall, guys. It is wonderful, and I am so excited for fall. I don't know. Should I make another fall video? I'm not sure. That might be in the cards. I don't know. Who knows? But I might. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.